classification. Now I have all my specimens laid out and my tools. I got my nutcracker, I got my paring knife, and I got my steak knife. And I got my fruits here. So the book gave me a list of the different kinds of fruits there are. So I can read those for you so you can help me figure out what they go to, but I'm pretty sure I'll know myself. Okay, so the first one is aggregate fruit. Several separate ovaries of a single flower which ripen individually. B is multiple fruit. Several ovaries from separate flowers which ripen fused together. And C, pod. Single chambered ovary with more than one seed. Opens along its side when ripe. And D, capsule. Multiple chambered ovary, each with many seeds. E, samara. Fruit with thin wings. F, nut. Thick, hard, woody ovary while enclosing a single seed. G, grain. Ovary wall fastened to a single seed. It didn't suggest any grains, so I don't have any grains with me to dissect, so. H, pone. Fleshy portion develops from receptacle. Ovary forms leathery core with seeds inside. I, droop. Ovary forms hard covering around seed and closes down, covering a fleshy tissue. J, berry. Thin-skinned fruit with ovary divided in sections that contain the seeds. And the last one is K, modified berry. Like a berry but with a thick, tough skin. Alright. Now, all that sounds like nonsense to you guys probably. But now it's time to actually do the cutting open of fruits, which I'm sure that's why you're all here anyways. Also, I forgot to put my maple seed out. Oops. I gotta cut one of those open too. Right. Aw, they're so cute. Okay, so it's so cute and I have to cut it open. It looks like a tadpole. Anyways, so here I have my specimens. An apple, this is a Honeycrisp one. It has 3 labels on it for some reason. And we got a plum, an orange, a tomato, a pecan. I was supposed to have a walnut, but we couldn't find any walnuts. Raspberry, Pea Pod. Well, that one gives away what it is because it has pod in its name. Wow. And so raspberry. And blackberry, that also gives away what it is. Sunflower seed. And a cute little maple seed there to cut open. Alright. I'm going to start with the apple. Here we have the red and yellow apple. It has like a sort of thin skin, but it's kind of more tough. Not as tough as an orange skin though. Now that's what we can see from the outside. But I'm going to cut open so we can look at the insides. So I'm going to use my steak knife for this. Oh, that's a sharp knife. Alright. Kind of ready this section. I can get the top to unfold itself. And so here we have a slice. can see this nice fleshy inside. It's kind of a harder flesh. Has a sweet smell to it. Now, the inside has this little loop around it. I'm not sure if you can see that. This right here. That shows you where the inside of the fruit is. Now this is what the very inside looks like. As you can see, there's some seeds in there. I'm gonna cut it even further so we can look even closer at that. Oh, one of the seeds just popped out. Here is an apple seed. As you can see, this apple was a little overripe and the seed was starting to develop. So here's the apple cut in half. You can see there's more seeds in there. The core is right directly from the stem. Oh, and here's the bottom of the apple. Alright. That... I think it said in the text which one happens. Put the mangled apple, not mangoed, but mangled apple aside with the seed that fell out of it. Next we have the plum. It's not as ripe as that apple was. We got a red plum. Now some plums are purple. Where the stem used to be, the stem was taken out. Now this one doesn't have a clear bottom like the apple did. Alright, let's cut it open. The plum juice is leaking out. Oh, nice. So this is what the slice looks like. It's got a very thin skin, fleshy, very juicy inside. And then the center is this hard stuff. You don't want to eat that, it's gross. That's near the pit. And inside the pit, there's one seed, a single seed in there. I think it'd be kind of annoying if plums had multiple hard seeds in them. So let's open that up all the way. Half the plum. And I'm gonna dig that seed out so we can look at it. I might need my paring knife. Now this plum has a tiny seed. Some plums have bigger seeds than this. Here's the seed. It's thick and spiky. It has little lines through it. And it was really rooted in there, unlike the apple seeds, which popped out right away. Here's the space where it used to be. I can smell that this one wasn't ripe. Anyhow, that doesn't matter. It's a severed peach. I mean plum, not peach. Did I keep calling it a peach? I mean plum. It's plum, obviously.
Chris is confused.
Oh no!
F, we did an F for that.
Oh no, that's so sad. Oh yeah, I see in the text it says the apples are a pone. Okay. What about the plum? It might say somewhere in here what the plum is. It's probably oh yeah, it's in the same classification as a peach. Because they both have hard seeds in them. It's a drupe. There's a random plum slice right there. No, I'm not gonna actually eat it because it's not even ripe. And here's the orange. I do not like to eat oranges. But as you can see, it's big and round. It has a hard, kind of scaly feeling hide to it. It's a very thick skin in comparison to the apple and the plum. Here's the little place where the flower used to be. And there's the bottom. This one has a more clear bottom like the apple does. Alright. So we're going to cut open this orange and look at it. Cut through that thick hide. A strong aroma emits from it. Oh, wow. This one is very dark inside. It's almost like a grapefruit. Some oranges have darker flesh, like this one does. Now this is a citrus. Thick hide and acidic flesh in there. You can see where the center of the orange was that I cut open. Here's what it looks like missing a slice. And then we're going to cut it further. I don't see any seeds in this, so I can't show you guys any seeds. Alright. Orange halved. This is what it looks like on the inside. Very center. It's got this thick, sort of fibrous white stuff. There's probably a seed in there somewhere. There's none obvious. No obvious seeds. Oh, and now it's burning my skin because it's acidic. Let's see, does it have anywhere on here? First classification of oranges. Oh yeah. The orange is classified as a modified berry. I do not know why. I would not consider an orange a berry. Okay, next up we have the tomato. It's a little bit injured because I dropped it on accident. Bright red fruit, very soft, thin skin. This one's also acidic, like the orange was. This one came from a vine. And here's where I removed it from that vine. No, there's one little tiny dot that shows you where the tip is. Not very obvious, it's like the plum. Now cut the tomato open. It's gonna be really juicy probably. Alright, that's a nice slice. So this one has tons of seeds throughout. And the inside is very squishy, it's like gelatinous. And you can see the little seeds hanging on to little fibers in there. Here's the inside. You can cut it all the way open too. It won't do any good though. You can see the seeds are everywhere. Aha! Here we go. This one also has a ring in it. See right here? Now, some people say that a tomato looks similar to a heart. I can see that, but I think it also looks kind of like a kidney. Look like kidneys in there. Cutting board getting all messy. There's all kinds of fruits everywhere. I'm pretty sure they said that the tomato is a berry. Yes, tomato is a type of berry. According to the textbook. And now on to the smaller specimens that we have here. Here we have the pecan. It's a nut. And I can't easily open it because it's so tough. So, it's elongated, kind of ovalish. You can see a little bit of. This is one of the tips. Here's another tip. This is the pecan. Now I can cut it open using the nutcracker, and there's probably gonna be pieces of pecan going everywhere.
Just don't hit your eyes.
Oh no! Alright, let's switch this back a little bit. And it's too small to be cut open with the big hole, so I'm gonna have to cut it with the small hole. Oh! Okay, that one split open pretty nicely, actually. So now we have a big crack down it. We open up the hard shell. We open up the hard shell somehow. Well, I got a little bit of it open. Now you can see the edible part inside. It looks kind of like a brain, kind of like the walnut would have. Except it's an elongated brain. The walnut is more rounded. very hard shell. Okay, now we can see even further into it. I'm going to try to completely remove the shell. Okay, a section of it came out, as you can see. Has a little bit of wood in it still from the outer casing. There's like this woody stuff inside of it too that separates each section of the nut. Now, I already said it's a nut. That's what classification is. It's a nut. Alright. Now there's pecan shell piece in there. I gotta clean that up a little bit. I don't want my workplace to be messy. It says that it accidentally drops a few pieces on the floor. Okay, here's the pieces I cut off. I'm going to the transparent jar that way. Okay, next, I don't need the big knife anymore for that. We have the raspberry. The raspberry has all these tiny little hair-like structures in between it. And it looks like a bunch of tiny little fruits all fused together. It's already hollow, so there isn't really much to see if you cut it open. But I'm gonna cut it open anyways, because cutting fruit open. That's what this whole video is about, huh? So I cut open this tiny little fleshy green. And I expose. This is what the inside of the raspberry looks like. And you can see now the little seeds inside the casing. If the camera will focus. It has a very distinctive smell to it. Not quite ripe yet. Or maybe, possibly. You know, I don't really like my berries overripe, so. And now, yeah, that one's a berry. We have the Pea Pod, which is a pod. It says so in its name. And we can see the seam on it that the book talked about. There's this nice seam down the center of it. If I just split it down the center, you can see what's inside. Now here's the top tip. That's where it was connected. Here's the bottom. Then here's that spin knife, a very knife. Just oh, it's so pretty. Look at that! Look at those little peas. They're just hanging on by these little straps to the inside of the pod. They look kind of like little berries in there. Little green berries. But we know they're not. Smells like grass. So that one's a pod. We don't even need to look that up very much. It's a pod, obviously. Pea pod. Okay, now blackberry. That wasn't on the list, but I thought since we had them around, I might as well. This one's like the raspberry, except it has a harder inside. The seeds are a bit bigger. Now I'm gonna cut open the blackberry. I'll cut open the blackberry. Oh, look at that! My fingers still smell like a pea pod. Alright, that one's also a berry, guys. A blackberry is a berry! Wow! Who knew? Okay, I have 2 more left. The sunflower seed. I got this out of bird seed. I'm not gonna crack it open with my teeth because that's gross. You don't put bird seed in your mouth. Sunflower seed. I'm gonna try to crack it open. Just gotta crack it with my fingers. Oh, it's very hard. Break it to pieces. There. Fractured the shell and I broke the inside of it, but here's what it looks like on the inside. I'm sure if you guys eat sunflower seeds, you kind of have an idea of what they look like on the inside. Unless you like completely shattered them like I just did. So while the shell is pretty thin, it's hard to break open. No, I didn't bite it. Okay, so it says that one is that wasn't on the list, but it's separated from the green because it's not green. Alright. So we have one last little one. It looks like a tadpole. This is the maple seed. See, it has this big head and has a tail, kind of like a wing. It flutters through the wind to get further away from its tree. But it's time to break it open. Alright. It's very tiny. Fracture it. There we go. Okay. Here's the seed that was hiding in that seed pod. If I can get it on camera. It's so tiny. This one's in the head of the tadpole looking thing. Teeny tiny little seed. So I broke the casing off of it. Alright, that was the last one. I don't know if they tell you in here what classification little maple seed comes from. Oh yeah, that's the Samara. Alright, so that's all. That's all the fruits all broken open and you can see them right here. All those broken open mingled fruits. I mangled them for your enjoyment. Also because it was my science experiment and I had to do it. At least I didn't have to cut open flowers like one of the ideas was. That would have been too sad. So that's all we have for fruit classification. Bye.